Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here. So good morning, let's just dive straight into it. So burning is really something that we've all become accustomed to, and I think we went through this period where we were spoiled rotten by Lunatics token, others, and now with the burn tax itself with Binance, and as it's got a little bit lower, I think we're all starting to become less and less appreciative of what is actually being done for us. But this video is all about trying to just break down ways that you can support the burn yourself, and none of this is financial advice, none of this is investing advice. This is just simply me throwing together a load of stuff on a nice chart and pretty much just breaking down how burning can be increased, and there are ways to do it. And I feel one of the most important ways we can actually do this is actually by targeting CEXs in the same way that we targeted Binance, because they just don't seem to be playing ball. And we played ball, we've played fair, we've gone by the book, and the only way we've ever got anything was by doing what we did to Binance. Now, all of these other CEXs have gone through this situation of, oh, you know, yeah, we really support it, but, you know, where are they? You know, it's kind of, you're stood there like the John Travolta meme, you know, with your hands up, like, you know. So let's move over to my flowchart. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. It's so windy here tonight in England. There must be a storm brewing. So on the left-hand side, you've got validator and delegator rewards. Now, these are not currently taxed, but in itself, they could be taxed. It's a really rash move, and it would require the community and validators to both agree to that, because we can't make this decision for the broader community. We can only suggest something, you can only propose something. It always comes down to the governance, because that's how things work. So we've spoken a little bit about CEXs, but if we could get all of the CEXs to fully adopt it, and I've only put 3 in because I don't want to throw too many of them out there and split out possibly all of the people that are going to then go back to these exchanges and say, you know, why aren't you incorporating this burn tax? So can you hear the wind? It's blowing the window open. Oh my sweet, that's crazy. There you go, look, raw, unedited, and I guess that's kind of what puts my videos aside. So normally I would restart this and start recording again, but I thought that was quite funny. It really did rip the window open. So I feel like CEXs really could do more. So what I'm saying with this here is, on the left hand side, is it's very rash, but we could get it put in place, because it's not down to what one person wants. It doesn't suit, you know, a set amount of people. The governance is set to support the broader consensus of things. So there's nothing we can do to make them do this. All we can do is say to them, why aren't you doing this? Why is Binance the only ones that are actually supporting this fully? And I know MEXC have done a lot of burning previously, but I feel like they could just do more. And it's the same for crypto.com. These huge exchanges are pushing adoption, and they want, you know, the support of all the communities. Well, then they should help these communities. So I feel targeting these 3 CEXs to actually execute the burn tax is not a bad idea as it stands. Now, bit controversial, but we do have VentiSwap and Lunatics token, and Lunatics token have been around since near the beginning of all of this, and it's not easy for a coin like that to get its footprint in and make good impressions when everything else that has likely come before it has always been a scam to people. So people go into it with kind of their fists raised, you know, that kind of guard stance, but they've been about for a while now. They've burnt a lot of coins, and it's the same for both VentiSwap and Lunatics token. They both burn LUNC, but it's based on how much volume they get on their own coins. So if the volume's high on their own coins and they're doing well, they're selling a lot of their own coins, lots of things going on with their own coins, they're going to burn a lot of Luna Classic. So they are both viable routes, but it's not financial advice. Now, we've got utility use case, and I feel this is very, very important for people to understand, because the more utility use cases we get, the better, because you're creating a reason for someone to use Luna Classic, okay? On top of that, you're leading it to increased transactions. Those increased transactions actually increase the amount of burns, okay, that are processed per transaction. Each coin used in that sense then goes into a new cycle of a system. And I've done a flow chart on this before to explain it to people in the most simplest way that I could. And you pretty much, because you bought the coin at a face value, you then use it for a project. That project then decides, okay, right, we're going to move, 50% of our treasury off. Those coins then get sold back to an exchange. Someone then buys them for their current face value. And then hopefully during that cycle, where it's repeated so much, the idea behind it all is it pushes the price up. So therefore the person's buying the coin for then a higher face value. And that's kind of how cryptocurrency does work down to its most core average Joe explanation. So, but everything's based on that in life, isn't it? About its utility use case. I mean, if it's not useful, you're not going to use it, right? Exactly. Money's worth money because of the use case behind it. You can go to the shop, you can buy your shopping. If you want to go buy a car, you can buy a car. The use case is there. If we could build on more of these use cases and work with more of these use cases and help them flourish, they will help our blockchain flourish, because it's a symbiotic relationship as to which they can only put in so much. And it's the same for people like me who provide content. We can only provide so much, and then it goes down to the community to actually engage with the content or engage with the projects and stuff like that across the board. But you have to have a genuine interest in utility use cases. There are going to be lots more coming. There's so many ones, there's so many different protocols out there across the board, and we're working on getting auto compounding put on the node. It's just all nodes are getting all set up again with a system they thought would never ever get revived. So it's not, I think it's 2 to 4 weeks till they get the full governance system online. But anyway, what I'm saying is it really could, bolstering out the utility use case, projects, onboarding, all these different kind of things really could amplify the burns. And some of these projects have already executed the burn tax. If not, they're executing it in game, and if not, they've executed it on their sales. So each one of them are playing their part. Now, on the right hand side, you've got IBC channels and increased volume. And I say increased volume because the IBC channels unlock the cosmos again. It's all, you can't do nothing with Wrap Luna. It's very limited. Once this all reopens back up, it's so much easier for people to make use of the technology at hand. So when the IBCs do unlock, we hope to see the increase in volume like it should. We hope to see projects come back, and all of that combined will lead to increased burning events. And if not more burning, because the projects hopefully that come back will, out of good grace go, well, the community loves burning. How can we impress the community? Let's get the burn tax on board and show that we do support this community, because that's what we all want to see. Now, these are just, like I said, they're just my kind of concepts, and from where I'm sitting, from what I'm looking at, none of it's financial advice or anything like that, or burning advice, anything like that. And let's move down to the final one for this video, and I believe these to be very viable routes. Now, all nodes, I'll give a disclaimer, all nodes are only burning till the end of the year. Classy Crypto, Lunkdao, Crypto King and myself, we're all burning via our nodes. So the more vote power we get, so the more people that delegate with our nodes, the more we're able to burn. Now, Lunkdao is able to burn on a weekly basis because of the simple fact is he's a top validator, he's got a lot of vote power, and he's able to do that because his burns are quite significant when done weekly. Either way, so the aim of a validator in itself is to actually provide, sustenance for the blockchain, inspire the people to use the technology, learn about the technology yourself, and utilize it for the greater good of the people around you, and for whatever else you can. But also at the same time, these 5 nodes are burning. So like I said, disclaimer on that one, because all nodes are only burning until the end of the year, but my node will burn until the supply hits 10 billion. I can't speak for the other nodes, but I can speak for myself. But what I can say is each one of these are burning, and they're guaranteed burns via the nodes, all based on how much vote power they have, and vote power is gained by delegation amount. So folks, it's a really kind of nice video to get out there, I think, and it's really needed to kind of show people that we can increase the burns as a community, and the things it's going to take is patience, trust, determination, and working together to find a middle ground at all points with everything that we speak about. Because I put a tweet out last night and it was pretty much saying about debating things is totally normal. You see it everywhere in life. I mean, they used to hold debates in my school. The amounts of debates. I'm sure there was a debate class that you could go to and you'd be able to. Anyway, it's a thing, you know, and that's how you move forward with stuff. You speak about things, you raise your concerns, and it's kind of how those people react to what you've raised and your concerns as to how it all moves forward. But we don't have any control over anything here at HCC. We're just the same as you guys. The only difference is we have a validators node, but we don't control the vote power. The community does. They get to vote on it, not us. Guys, stay safe out there. None of this is financial advice. Beware of scammers, doppelgangers, anybody pretending to be me or the Happy Catty Crypto channel. Beware of all the WhatsApp comments. I do try and get them. I've been getting them a lot recently, but they spring up like weeds in your garden. And the more of them you rip out, the more appear. You just can't get rid of them. I hope YouTube sorts it out in the end. And catch you in the next one.